All right. Josh Taylor versus Regis Prograis, man. We getting close. And Regis Prograis starting to talk that good-ish. Talking about how this dude cannot beat him. I want to talk about this Regis Prograis versus Josh Taylor fight so you guys know what an absolutely great fight is coming up. One of the fights I've been looking forward to most this year. Let's talk about Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also, I want to say thank you very much to everybody that supports the channel in two different ways. One is through the live streams that we do, the live stream community, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. or 11:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then our special weekending show on Sunday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time with myself, Blood Boxing, Curtis Anderson, and KQKC Boxing, where we wrap up the week, talk about everything that happened and other type of really good conversations that we have with the people in the live stream. And also everybody over on the Patreon, thank you guys so much. We got a LeBron James and China conversation coming up today. I think that you'll enjoy it. All right. Man, Rougarou. Regis Rougarou Prograis, the WBA 140-pound champion, is fighting Josh Taylor, who is the WBA 100, or did I get that backwards? They're fighting each other. I do believe that the WBO and the WBC is Jose Ramirez at 140 pounds. I think Josh Taylor is the IBF and Regis Prograis is the WBA. This is going to be a very, very good fight. Regis Prograis is saying that Josh Taylor absolutely positively cannot beat him. Josh Taylor's talking a lot of smack about Regis Prograis and how Regis Prograis tried to duck up out the fight because he was afraid to fight in the UK. All of that stuff makes for good talk. But the most important thing about this fight is that I think that we could have on our hands a classic, and a classic between two future great fighters who can be remembered for years. You have Regis Prograis, who is the number one and number two 140-pound fighters in the world, in my opinion. The other champion, as I said a little bit earlier, is Jose Ramirez. I think Jose Ramirez is a very good fighter. He looked better in the unification fight that he had against Maurice Hooker than I had seen him look before when he fought him on DAZN. But I think that Jose Ramirez, not himself, but through Bob Arum, I think that they ducked Regis Prograis. And I think that they ducked out of the way of Regis Prograis because they know that would have been a tremendously tough fight for Jose Ramirez. If you recall, Jose Ramirez and Regis Prograis were in kind of a semi-tournament for the WBC belt. And that was after the 140-pound WBC belt. I think that was after Terence Crawford had relinquished the belt and moved up to 147 pounds. That WBC belt became vacant, and Regis Prograis, I think Regis Prograis fought, can't remember who Regis Prograis fought, but I believe that Emir Imam, it was Julius Ndungo, who had fought Terence Crawford to unify all the belts and lost. Regis Prograis then knocks out in spectacular fashion Julius Ndungo. Jose Ramirez fought Emir Imam. He beats Emir Imam, and the two were supposed to fight. But WBC winds up giving the title to Jose Ramirez, and Bob Arum basically right after the fight walks away and says, we're not doing that Regis Prograis fight right away. We got bigger and better things to move on. So Regis Prograis, instead of pushing that, decided to enter into the World Boxing Super Series. And in doing so, he winds up fighting, I do believe he beat Kylie Relic. He beat the former 135-pound champion out of the UK, Terry Flanagan, and now he's fighting against Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor, the first time I got a wind of Josh Taylor a little bit before he fought, maybe it was the fight before he fought O'Hara Davies out of the UK. O'Hara Davies was a blonde afro. It was these guys were both up and coming fighters. I think they both might have had not too many fights, 16 fights, 14 fights, but it might have been about a year and a half ago. I don't think it's about 2 years ago. And I did a prediction video on that because people were saying, what do you think about Josh Taylor versus O'Hara Davies? And I was like, yeah, more than likely it's going to be Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor he's taller, he's faster, he can switch stances. And certain people were comparing Josh Taylor to a bit of a Terence Crawford in the way that he fights. And I do think that there are some fair comparisons to be made between the two, not in talent level, but in their ability to box from the outside but at the same time, their fighting spirit. Both Terence Crawford and Josh Taylor might fight a little, they're dogs. They want to fight. Right? They can box out from the outside. They can do those type of things, but they want to get in there and they want to bang you out. Now, after Josh Taylor beat O'Hara Davies, the next fight that came up for Josh Taylor that was of note to me was the Victor Postal fight. Victor Postal is also somebody, that used to be a boogeyman of sorts in the 140-pound division who Terence Crawford beat. Now, Josh Taylor had problems with Victor Postal, and Josh Taylor won the fight. But I think that was, if there's a question that I have about Josh Taylor, it comes from that Victor Postal fight, because I think Victor Postal is the highest level fighter that he fought. Now, he won the belt. He won the belt from fighting Baranich. He won the IBF belt fighting Baranich. Baranich, to me, is a very tough fighter. He's a strong fighter, but he's very much a one-dimensional fighter. He's a come-forward fighter that is he's heavy-handed. Every punch that he's throwing, he's trying to get you out of there with. And Josh Taylor was just really able to outbox him, and at times he would fight with Baranich, but Baranich didn't really have that one punch stick to really hit and hurt Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor then wins that fight. So now we're here to this fight for the unification fight for the 140-pound division, and I think that this is going to be a fight, man, that whoever wins this fight has to be considered to be, on his way to being a major player in the sport of boxing. And for two reasons. One, they would have went through a tournament to become a unified champion, just like Alexander Usyk came through a tournament to be the undisputed champion at cruiserweight. But more importantly, the same way that Andre Ward came through the Super 6 tournament to win the 168-pound title, and in doing so fought back to back very solid fighters. Now, when that Super 6 fight was being made, I from the beginning thought that Andre Ward was going to win that tournament, and I never really did understand how people favored Carl Froch or favored Mikhail Kessler or favored Arthur Abrams or any of these guys over Andre Ward. But coming through that, once he got through that, you could not deny that this guy was the real deal. And after that, that's when he got the Schultz HBO contract. Now, I don't think that his star power ever got to where it really should have been, commensurate with his fighting style, but that's a different subject. With the winner of this fight between Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis, that fighter can definitely get a fight, or should be able to get a fight, with Jose Ramirez, because they would be the unified WBA IBF champion and fighting the WBC WBO unified champion. Whoever comes out of that, that means basically they're 2 fights away from doing what Terence Crawford did at 140 pounds. But the difference between the guy that could get through that and Terence Crawford is that the guy that, whether it would be Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis, or Jose Ramirez, I do believe would have fought better competition to get there, especially if it's Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor. But that's why I'm saying this is a really important fight. This is a big fight, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, I've got it 51-49, leaning towards Josh Taylor, not because of really my lack of confidence in Regis Prograis being able to win the fight, but the politics behind it, and man, just really believing in the scenario that I see over there that Regis Prograis is going to need a knockout to beat Josh Taylor. The good news for Regis Prograis is that Josh Taylor might give him that opportunity because he's willing to fight too much, but we'll see. Either way it goes, man, please do not miss that fight. It is worth it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.